This is a story about life, about struggle, about success. Not just mine, but yours too. Because whether you see it now or not, we're all trading something every single day. Time, energy, choices, That's life. That's trading. I wasn't always here. I wasn't always the guy you see on your screen. I started out just like most people, uncertain, broke, doubting the system, doubting myself. But one thing kept me going, the belief that life's biggest opportunities aren't given, they're taken. And I took mine. See, trading isn't just about charts, candles, or currencies. It's about discipline, patience, and the courage to bet on yourself. It's about understanding that every loss is a lesson and every win is a stepping stone. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the early mornings, and that voice in your head telling you to keep going when the rest of the world says stop. But let me tell you something. This journey didn't start with success. It started with failure. More failures than I can count. I remember sitting in front of my screen, watching the markets eat me alive, thinking maybe this isn't for me. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about the markets. It was about me. My mindset, my choices, my willingness to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The truth is, trading is a mirror. It shows you who you really are. It forces you to face your fears, your doubts, and your limits. But it also shows you your potential if you're brave enough to see it. I'm here now because I refuse to quit, because I learned to see every loss as a stepping stone, every setback as a setup for a comeback, and if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. Success isn't about getting it right all the time. It's about staying in the game long enough to win. This isn't just a stream. This is a movement. A space where we don't just talk about markets. We talk about life, about growth, about becoming the best version of yourself, not just as a trader, but as a person. Because the truth is, the charts don't care about you, but this community does. I do. And together, we're gonna rise. So, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and get ready. This is where traders are made. This is where dreams are built. And this is where your story begins. Let's get it. What's the deal, gang? What goes on? How's everyone doing?
Good
Back?
morning.
Live?
Welcome.
Yeah, I mean, we got a closure coming up here in 30 seconds for the 1 hour.
Yes, sir.
Give me 1 second, chat. All right, let me just let the rest of the Zoom gang in. Relaxing white noise fan sound. That was a fire intro. I've never heard it. Yep. Had it for a while, but never heard it. But we're all having a blessed day. Yes, we are. All right, let's get into it. I know we just had the hourly closure. Let me just catch up on here. No mustard, catch up. All right. Daily close bullish. We filled the daily wick. The 4 hour close, the previous 4 hour close bearish. We're into the last hour of the current 4 hour. The volume hour. There's music down. It's loud as hell for some reason in my headphones. Yeah, music loud. Me too. Yeah. All right. So 4 hour did close bearish. So the daily and the 4 hour telling a bit of a different story. The daily pretty much drove up here in the 4 hours telling you, hey, we've tapped target. Let's head back the other way. The 1 hour, ooh, held support. Onionizing. It's onionizing, but it's in this chop. Look at all these wicks in here. It's held support, but doesn't look great. Ooh, wow. Anybody catch this bottom wick here? This was
Lovely. This is a perfect pancake. I wasn't on the charts here at this point. I wasn't even home at this point. I was at the principal's office at this point. Yeah. That's interesting. So we had a level here. Close below. That over there. We have a resistance we've just tapped into. Yeah. Right. I mean, this is nice. We just got to get out of this chop. Again, every time I've shown up here this week, it's just been a chop. London moves. After 8 p.m., everything moves. This was lovely. This 8 a.m. on the dot. This was amazing. And then what happens? Chop. What'd you do this time? Oh, at the principal's office? I had to go see Principal Oshag Hennessy. Oshag Hennessy. Hold on. O'Shaughnessy. Where's D Nice? Where's D Nice?
Hey, Ron, where are you?
So look, we have a resistance, we have a support, we filled the range multiple times. We got to get the hell out of here. We're either gonna. The good thing about this last hour, it drove all the way through to this resistance, which means we get a bearish closure here. Right? We get a bearish closure here. It starts setting up. It starts setting us up for an entry. Bearish or bullish? I do not know yet, but if we get a bearish closure here, like it is right now, we have a chance for this to head back down with the 4-hour. And if it doesn't, right, we have this little support area over here. If it doesn't head down here, if it breaks us back up, we have all this clean range to the left here. Take advantage of. Breaks the highs is our position there, and we will look for this. But if we get this closure and we're able to push down, I will not take positions in here because of all this chop and all this chop and all this chop. Will not look for sells there, just like I wasn't going to look for buys from down here, except for that bottom wick. That bottom wick entry was actually pretty lovely for that Wicks pancake. But if we drive through this entire range, yeah, I will wait for us to break down here. If this happens, I'll be looking to continue. Some clean range to the left here. Build these wicks. That's what we're gonna look for. No entries anywhere in here. Looks like ass and feet. No entries anywhere in here. That's where we are right now. This is ass. This is feet. And together it's ass and feet, and we don't want this. Get us the hell at this range. Yeah, 4 hours. Indecisive. Current 4-hour indecisive. Let's see what NYSE Open does. The good thing about this, if you form a bearish candle, right? If you get a bearish closure and then jump up, you've actually just confirmed that there's a resistance here. And you're also confirming that it's being broken by driving from a support. And if you're breaking resistance, driving from a support, and then it's NYSE Open and you break the highs, we're going to fucking fly. So that's what we're waiting on, right? Let's get this closure above 50.82 and continue on our merry way. Super turret. Bro, you've been trying to get in here for a while now. Been at the Zoom door, just. Will you enter on bottom wick? If I was here exactly 1 hour ago, exactly 1 hour on the dot to the T, If I was 810, I would have been in here 100%. You can bank on it. Yeah, we would have been in here 100%. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, the ranges are sort of evening out, right? Look at this. Like the daily candle is not 14,000 pips anymore. It's like, you know, we're like, the ranges are slowly coming back to normal. You guys notice? I mean, they're still big, but they're rising down, right? Because you're getting ranges within ranges within ranges. Increasing lot size activated. Yeah. Back to GC we go. And I gotta fucking draw this shit up again. I haven't been on this chart in fucking days. Because look how big the ranges were. Now look where we are right now. We're like, yeah. Look how massive these ranges are. And now we're like, all right, let's go back to normal. Let's go back to normal here. We'll see. We'll see what the stops say whenever we are in a position. And then do you think the CME margin change had any effect on the range size? Good question. I think it's vice versa. I think the range sizes had an effect on the CME margin change. Which was only by 2%. So it's an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, like you figure they react to the market just like we do, right? So it's I think the margin hikes don't really create bigger ranges, right? Since they respond to them when gold starts moving wild, printing larger candles and like wider daily swings, right? The CME steps in and raises margin. That's just kind of what happened. The contracts become more volatile. It's become more risky to hold here. So in a way, I think in a way the CME is kind of deciding who can participate and who can't, right? They're basically saying, yeah, the market's pretty dangerous right now and you need more capital behind your position. So the range expansion comes first, right? We saw the price move first, then we saw the margin increase as the reaction afterwards, right? It wasn't the cause, it was a reaction afterwards. But they're just dictating the players right now. They're just saying who can play, who can't. Motherfuckers up with gold. I leave for 2 weeks. Bro, stop leaving. Hey, every time you leave, these markets do some crazy shit. Markets are insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. You know what's crazy? Smoked 3 joints the entire day yesterday. Really cutting down on my consumption. These CME margins got my dealers fucking raising their margins. How do you stay productive smoking all day? I mean, it's not for everybody, that's for sure. Everyone's pretty different, right? But yeah, if you like, and it just depends on the person, right? Me, I'm a very high functioning individual when I smoke, right? Some people smoke and they're just like, I'm just gonna, where are my feet? Yo, anybody seen my feet? Me? No, I know where my feet are and what they're gonna do, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes from now. Yeah, for a small percentage of people, it's a look, I am not the norm, right? I am the off chance. But the norm is people, yeah, I get it. They're not too functional when they smoke weed. Well, in general, they smoke weed, they drink, they do drugs, but me, I'm very functional. I get shit done. Matter of fact, I smoke weed as a pre-workout. I smoke weed just to go to the gym. I smoke it as with the protein. Or after the gym, we sprinkle a little 20 grams of protein on that shit like resin. Salt Bay protein right in the middle of the joint, right there.
Instead of Salt Bay, it's protein.
20 grams of protein in every joint.
Oh man,
Quit
don't do
playing
drugs. Kids, don't do drugs.
Deadlifted 405 for 3 reps after hitting the dab in my car. Zero pre-workout, only cafecito. Bro, you have a cafecito, you fucking see sound, you could fucking swim to Cuba. Breaststroke to Cuba. So the fuckers get here, bro. They drink a cafe con leche or a culada on like 18 people. And then you see the motherfuckers butterfly. Boop, boop, boop. You'd be like 40 miles off the coast of the Bahamas just seeing a motherfucker engine style. Boom, 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 boom. At like 6, then at 8, bro, you're living through a heart attack right now. You want me to call the ambulance? You're literally having one right now. You just don't know it. You're not aware. You are not aware. Oh, man. Oh, man. Hey, gang, it's 9:15. This 15-minute candle needs to close. Look, we just printed this bearish candle that I was talking about, right? So we held resistance. Now we have a little support area here. Can we now hold support, right, and break resistance by driving from a support? Because we close above here, NYSE open, breaking resistance after driving from a support, closing above the range. If we break those highs, we are gonna push. Yeah, like a pregnant lady. So you smoke a quarter to a half a day. I smoke Smoke. I don't know. I smoke maybe roughly an ounce a week. Roughly a zip a week. However you split it up, roughly ballpark. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But ballpark. Better. Yo. I just realized my headphones were off. If anybody was talking to me and I ignored you, not on purpose. I just didn't hear you. Yeah. Zoom door. Still trying to get in. Still trying to get in. This is good because then look, we got this bottom wick that just bounced off the support here. The current hourly candle. Look at that. Never broke the previous hour. We start breaking highs here. We need a closure here for NYC Open. We'll be good to go. Man, these buys look great if we are able to push up. Dab throughout the day to avoid smelling around custies. Well, you got to smell around custies as a promo. Be like, check out what I got. Custies. Give me a sec, chat. Give me a sec. Where's Kenny? Where's Jay? Where's everybody? I need some familiar voices. Where's everybody? Where's Nate? Damn. Where's everybody? Reggie? Reggie don't show up unless the Blake Handle puts on the charts. JOB funding right now. Nice. W. You see, my man's got the right idea of a funding company. guess NYC Open isn't gonna behave yet. Got you in the ear. Ew. Peace. Never mind. Why did that not be? Why did that not print on the same line? Trust me, I cannot wait to be back at the crib full time. Wait, is this like a new job? You had a new job? Needed it for house approval purposes. Okay. Don's still trading? Come on, can you look? We are like 15 subs away from 30.2k subs. Once we got to 30, you guys are like, all right, we got there. Let's slow it down. No, let's keep going. Full sending trading. I told him meniscus got put out of work, so it took this is the time to do it. Yeah, a lot of people did that with the C word, remember? Everybody stayed home, and a whole influx of new traders came into the industry.
In the meantime, Chad, if you haven't done so already, we'd appreciate if you could drop a like, sub to the channel, share the stream with some friends, invite some people to come and watch as well. And don't forget, be smart. Don't take crazy trades. The ranges are massive. So take your A+ setups, 1 to 2 trades per session. It'll make you very wealthy.
Yes, can be very lucrative. Patience can be just as lucrative as action. You'll be at 100k end of the year. I'll be happy if I'm at 50k at the end of the year. As long as it's growing, right? We want the trajectory to be correct. Then it's just rinse and repeat. Once it's growing, we just keep doing the same thing over and over. Keep buys around 25.3. Interesting. Account has had B for a while, making high highs now. Yeah. WTF trade of it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday trade of 8. Yeah, you talking about the new mobile update? You just asked the questions. Hold on a second, chat. They don't call me back to the principal's office. Nah. 1 minute here for NYC Open. We're still in this chop. Till we're out of this chop, I will just not participate. NYC Open might be the candle that brings us out of the chop and actually sets us up for the trade. It might not be our trade. So maybe 10 a.m. here. Maybe the 4-hour close. Let's see this 4-hour through. All right, we got a nice bottom wick to fill here. We're closing bearish, so let's most likely we're gonna see this 4-hour through unless we just drop heavy here in the next 3 minutes, in the next 30 seconds. Sorry. I mean, yeah, we're below the hourly level, but just no closure on the hourly. And the last closure we have, the 30 closed bullish all the way up there. 15 has all this chop down here, so all these levels, so. You do private black truck service for some high profile clientele. Nice. Pretty dope. NYC Open here. All right, let's see what happens. Give you orders. You're talking about 25.3 on Q, right? That's what you and Jay are talking about. Holy shit. There's a lot of volume. If you guys notice the price switching, there's a lot of volume. This thing can drop heavy here. 100, 200 pips. How much did it drop already? 54. Already dropped 100. It's good. This is good, but you can't trust it till there's a closure because it could drop heavy here, sweep the lows, and then you spend the rest of the day flying up. Yeah. There's no positions here anywhere on this current 15. Most likely this 30, but for now this 15, no positions. Waiting for a closure outside of our levels, out below 50.48 or above 50.82. But once we close outside it, we can, because as of right now, right, this range was not tradable when we're leaving. But once we leave this range and close outside it, yeah, we're looking for a drive down. But if we come back up into this range afterwards, and if we end up pulling back up in here like this, all of a sudden that range becomes tradable. Okay. This is what happens. Then we can look for this. But for now, the range is untradeable. So trading range, the range. Wait, and Ninja Trader is down. Down goes Ninja. Damn. They should have named their platform Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
For all you young people, that is a boxing reference. I think TradeOvate is also down.
Down goes Frazier. That's what they should have named it. This is interesting. See, we'll put pulling back to these wicks right here. If we're gonna drop it, would be from here, yeah, because just pulled back to previous levels of support that you can now utilize as resistance. There's orders here at these wicks that sent the market flying back up. They were cleared out, filled this whole range, filled this wick, came down. Now you're back to these orders, to that level. This is where the market can either push back down or close you back up in range. Time for it to decide right here. There's definitely no entries at this level. This is like, hey, you can guess at this level, be really right or really wrong. Let's wait. Just don't be impulsive, right? If you feel like your hands are itching, feel like which sending a signal from your brain down your spine, you know, your central nervous system to your hands. To avoid that, leave the charts. Step away for 9 minutes. Let it close.
News is coming up too.
What was that?
We got news coming up too.
Do we? Ooh, 10. Yeah, we do have news. Interesting. Okay. Red folder, 10 a.m. We'll see what happens. Give me a sec, chat. I mean, you guys could talk. Give me a sec. Damn, this fucker dropped. At 300-400 pips. Should move 500-600 pips. 700. Yeah, 700 pips. Wild, wild times here. You not entertained? So you guys, damn. Why was I not in that drop? Well, you know what I learned? It doesn't feel like you're doing anything here, but trust me, this is the fact that you're not in a position there says a lot, right? The fact that you're able to hold off on the impulses and build winning habits speak a lot more long term, speak a lot louder long term, right? Never really feels like much when you're just building success, right? Because it's you always feel like, all right, I took a win, now I'm successful, right? It always feels like, all right, I got a runner, I got a winning position, I'm in the green, I am successful. No, success usually feels like, true success feels like boredom, like doubt, like, am I really doing the right thing? Because it's not noticeable. People think excitement does, but when you're choosing, restraint and silence over the noise, that long term is what builds success. That's the foundation. Feeling some pancakes and jumbo egg smoothie. I'm feeling some pancakes too. We just got to set up. I'm feeling like different kinds of pancakes. Did you drinking your juice for liquidity, Wicks? Always. Always. So if this shit feels boring to you, good. It should be like, this is the uncomfortable part, right? This is where people really truly fold and just give in to their impulses. The whole point is not to give in to the impulses. That's the equivalent of folding, right? Because that uncomfortable place is usually that little gap between where you are and where you believe you need to get to, right? If you're uncomfortable right now, you're in that space between where you are and where you're going, where you're truly headed. If you stop now, you'll never get to where you're headed, right? Enjoy the discomfort. You're on the right track. Assume door. Oh, Reggie's here. Wait a minute. I don't see a light candle. You're early. We haven't had a light candle print yet. Reggie don't miss a light candle. Just complimented gold on slowing down and evening out the ranges. And it decides to go ahead and do this. Straight away down again. I don't know, man. I don't know what top one is planning on doing with all these trade of 8. At least it's better than 5,000 pips, yeah?
I think we have a few people at the Zoom door. Thank
Yeah,
you.
just let them in.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Who's
turn
having
this
FOMO,
down.
gang? Are you having
No more
FOMO?
FOMO.
No more FOMO. Hey, no more FOMO. No more.
I know where you were going with that second one.
Imagine the things that don't count in my mouth.
Thank you for not continuing that one.
Not my stream. Didn't want to get you back.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you said that shit, it was stream would have been.
Still laughing about it. Yeah, FOMO, but ain't doing nothing about it. Yeah, I feel it. Obviously, you know, I feel it, but it never closed below. It just dumb. So at any time, like Wick said, it can retrace, and you never know what happens. And look, it retraced. It closed with a nice bottom wick, and then it dumped on a 1 minute candle, 255 pips, and then it retraced immediately right after in 2 minutes. It's difficult. You need the closures to confirm a little bit more where, you know,
And
it's
not that it's difficult. It's just moving at such a fast pace. It's not really establishing a level in terms of like higher time frames, just blasting through here. And as I've said before, yeah, you can still get in here, still be ahead probability wise, but you're if you get burned here, it's very unforgiving. It's not, you're not getting burned 50, 60 pips. You're getting burned 300-400 pips. So, this gold is very unforgiving in these kind of times if you're wrong. So I would be a little extra patient, a little more selective, but be correct.
well said.
50 might close like candle. Yeah, we have news on that closure though. No matter how it closes, we have news. And then we're gonna have to act on it. Yeah, 9 minutes here. News in 9 minutes. That'd be pretty wild if the 4 hour decides to come back all the way up here and close above 50.48. Things will get interesting. Because we're getting, this is good. This is structure, right? You had to drive one way, you broke out the range, you got a closure, you're coming back towards here. So decision-making time, right? We said we couldn't trade in here. Remember, it was all red for us unless we leave the range, get a closure outside, and then come back into that range. So this is perfect. We're either gonna, once we retest 50.48, we either get back in that range or we continue down. But this will be the area from where we'll trade, right? Right now, the area from where we're planning on trading is 50.47, 50.48 areas. Let's get back there. Market's going to make a decision. Does it hold this as a resistance now, that previous support, or does it fake out back into the range and we continue on our merry way up? Either or, but let's see what happens. Personally, I would rather come back down and retest the lows that we make right now. So if we get back up here, I'll look for a resistance to form. That would be really. Right, we want to get back up to these areas. We get a resistance formed here. We can get a resistance formed here. Right, we're looking for a retest of the lows here. Trade, full TP, partials. That's what we'll be looking for. And that would be good for us as well, right? Because if we get back up there, we can have a top wick entry on the next hour, right? Because if we close like this, but we have an entry up here, that's the top wick for the next hour. Just get up there, and on a smaller time frame, look to get in. 7 minutes here. 7 minutes. NYC open. NYSE open. Needed to work some point today to get my trading day in. I'm sure it will. Pretty bearish here, right? The 4 hour should close bearish. The 1 hour is going to close bearish. The 30's closing bearish, right? So it doesn't really matter if 115 closes bullish here. The last 15 of the 4 hour candle, yeah, we always expect a pullback on the last 15 of the 4 hour, right? To leave that wick. But there's no buys here. No buys here. Not just yet. Looks where the pips at, man. Be patient. You'll get the pips. Big pip and spending cheese. Yo, this is going up again 50-50. I don't know, man. Feels like you guys are just like spinning a wheel like it. Let's just see what happens. Oh, we did an analysis. Let's wait. Be patient. You have news in 3 minutes. And then we're going to have some extra volume and we'll be part of it. We'll trade. I got some extra time today. right? Kenny in the building. We got some extra weed today. Oh yeah. Hey. Chart's still not up. You're talking about trade of 8. Yeah, I mean, man. That's what I was telling people, man. Don't switch just yet. Tell them not to switch it. I don't want to be part of that. I'm gonna stay on Project X here till I'm gonna ride this thing out as long as I can. New York week bias, man. Give it 100 seconds here. We got news. I'm not fucking leaving. Word. I'm gonna be here for a little while. We're gonna be here through London close, that's for sure. So at least another hour and a half, 2 hours. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big volume. Bang. Hit the blue line and drive back up. Let's go. Hit our blue line and drive back up. News came out. Spending. Hello? Oh. Neutral. Okay. You don't give a shit about anything else. Came out neutral. Amazing. Do something. Priced in? No, it came out neutral. It's not. What do you mean? Like it was, if it was really like good for the dollar, right? If it was really good news, then you could say, all right, this was priced in because we had this massive drop right before that. But this drop was NYSE open. Now neutral news, that we can, you can say, all right, obviously there's no spike right on the open. The 4-hour candle closed bearish. Right, we'd like to see this come down. Let's see if we can form a resistance. so we can take a sell off resistance to come down. So for now, we're still waiting. Yeah, yesterday we took a L on here. It waited a couple hours right after stream. Set up, got everything back. So it just depends when it sets up for us. That's when we'll take it. In stream, out of stream. If it sets up, we'll take it. News good for the dollar. News came out neutral. Not good, not bad. Gonna give it give it another 15-minute candle, see what it can do. You gotta understand, look, the 4-hour closed heavily bearish. This is a 1,000 pip 4-hour candle. For 4 hours, price was able to maintain this bearish momentum. Once we start coming up here, what do we know about gold? Right? It's very technical. It's created a support here. Once we form a resistance, we're going to fill the range. Right? Which means that resistance is going to be the top wick on this 4-hour. Can we get a top wick entry on the 4-hour before it comes down? Which means we'll need a 15 or a 30 to close bearish somewhere back up here at around 50.47. That's not to say we're going to continue down for the day. That's to say we need to retest these lows at that point, it'll be another time for the market to make a decision. So if we can retest these lows as part of our position, that would be amazing. What is that thing above the neon sign behind you? Hold on. Drop my light. So it's a hologram, but the problem is for you guys, because of the frames per second, you guys actually see it spinning. For me, it looks clean as hell. Like for me in live, you see it's like a 3D hologram. Look. I don't know, maybe I gotta turn the light down.
Yeah, we see it spinning, but what is that, a lobster?
Yeah. But it's like, there's a lot of
lobster.
different things. It's pretty dope. That's a fish swimming.
Is that a bird?
It's pretty dope. Yeah, like, so it's a hologram, right? And it looks 3D, like in person. But what I wanted it to do was to have like a Wix logo spinning around in 3D. See, there's a squid and a shark swimming around. So in person, it looks so fire because like you can't tell that a fan is spinning. But on camera, like when I turn it on, you can tell there's a transformer walk. I wanted a logo like that right there, like to have a Wix logo that just spins 3D. But on camera, it looks terrible. Yeah, you can see it spinning on camera.
Yeah, same thing when you film a TV or you film a computer screen. You see like all the lines appearing. So I guess it's the same idea. Yeah.
See, like you got a little thing right there, a 3D logo that's spinning. But the fact that you guys see the fan, it like destroys the whole thing. I could technically like play a movie on there, right? I can turn on a cartoon, a movie, whatever, a show, and it could play on there. But I can leave the news on there, right? We can have Trump speaking on the fan in 3D. But the problem is you guys will just see that. You see that? That's a rose right there.
Yeah, it's gonna drive us nuts.
You guys will see just the fan spinning all the time.
It is pretty cool though, but yeah, we see the fan.
The whole idea was like I was gonna get like, you know, animations to go behind me, and like for a win or a loss, we were just gonna have like different 3D animations pop up behind me or reactions. But because it does that, and you can see that, I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's pretty distracting. Gonna be back for latest session. Gotta go get MRI results. Hey man, wish you all the best. Dear Forex baby Jesus, please put JMK's pain so far in his rearview mirror that he never thinks about it again. Amen. Oh, P.S. Provide him some pips. Amen. Just wanted to let you know how thankful I am to have you spit facts on here for free. I don't have the funds for Signal Channel, but we appreciate you doing the ceremony. But show me. You can't slow it down or speed it up. No, I can fuck around with my camera. Instead of 60 frames per second, I can put it to 30 frames per second, which will make the fan look better. Right, but it's gonna make your experience worse here. Yo, I know I didn't finish smoking my joint. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Breaking down below here? What are we doing? So, a little funky here. Let's go to the higher time frame level here. Are going back up? Yeah, Trump signed that yesterday. Signed the order not to shut down the government yesterday. That's crazy. Jill Biden's ex-husband killed somebody. You think she regrets leaving him? Really leveled up over there. She went from a murderer to the president. That's crazy. Wife of a murderer, first lady. How about a level up? Damn, I see the level here. I also see that we came down from here, or we came up all the way to there. So that's the resistance. The format. See what happens. All right, first 15 closure after the news, and the news gone nowhere. Stayed in the same price. Stayed at the same price. All right, no entries here on the break of the lows. No entries here on the break of the lows, not until we close below this area. But this next 15 might give it to us. If this 15 closes below this area, right, it's going to make an attempt to come up here, back into the range. If it fails, closes below here, but doesn't drive through, right, that will close the 15 below this most recent 15 range. It'll close the 30 below here. And at that point, if we take the break of the lows, that would be the hourly re-breaking its own low. We're heading down to this 4-hour support at 67. That's around 300-400 pips. Yeah, things will get really interesting at that point. Make sure we get this closure, which means we have to wait 13 minutes. 13 minutes till I land. Until then, I'll be out like a light. It gave sell and buy setup based on my strategy. So why aren't you in there? Are you waiting for my strategy? Bad idea. what your strategy says to do, because only your strategy is based on your relationship with money. My strategy is rooted in my relationship with money. And yes, you can get bits and pieces of my strategy and learn and emulate me and learn to do what I do, but you're not going to do it exactly because your relationship with money is different from my relationship with money. Your perspective on things is different from my perspective on things. The chemical imbalances going on in your body right now are different from the ones going on in my body right now. So we have different impulses. Fish, take your positions. It doesn't matter win or lose. It's data, and data is your best friend. That's what's going to help you build something profitable. It's going to help you build in general. $11 here. Like we might see a quick bloop, 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 but we can't do anything because we need a closure. A bullish closure. You have a level from which you came up here, right? If you close above it right here, you're holding support. You close below it, you're closing below the overall and the most recent. And then a rebreak of the lows will break the current hourly low. So you would have a lot of things lining up. All you need is just one little 15 candle closure below 5,002. That's all you need. The 4 hours got a top wick here, but we also filled the 4 hour wick, right? Pretty much. Let's see if we can break it and continue down. The thing is, yeah, I would love to come back up here for a top wick on the 4 hour. But we already came up here, right? Why did we top out here? And historically, right, if we were talking about precedent, look. The drive up here came from these areas. If we look at the higher time frame, right? Look at that. The body right there. Boom. Drove straight up. I believe that's a 4 hour level. Let's see. Yeah, that's a 4 hour level right there. And that bottom wick, boom. Right? It's also a 4 hour level here. And if we look to the left, see that wick on the drive down comes down into? Look, right into this area. See this drive? We're stalling here at this area right now, but eventually it just dropped to here for a bounce. See this drive? It dropped into this area before the bounce. So I do believe before any kind of pullback here, while I want to see a top wick on the 4 hour first, I think we're going to be able to see this drive through here first, and then eventually we'll have a pullback and a retest of the lows at some point. But first, let's get that indication. Let's get the indication of that drive first. You need the break of the lows here to get in, but you need a closure below here also to even worry about getting in, I guess. So A, closure below. B, bottom wick on that closure. C, top wick first, attempting to break back up into the range here. Drive off resistance. And if all of that happens, we will give the market the D on the break of the lows here and take options. Fish. Need A. Closure below the range. B, this bottom wick. C, an attempt to come back up in range and fail, gives you a stop. And then if it breaks the lows, this is where we give the market the D. Peace.
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, might just come down here. 7 minutes left. Might just come down without us. Yep, there it goes. There's no positions there. We never had a closure outside the range. Oof. Didn't really tap our level right there. 20 pips off. I think it will.
Man, it jumped too quick. I was in, and I was about to move my take profit some more. It jumped and took it before I could move it. So
Oh, it
cool.
took your profits, and so you hit full TP.
Yeah, I hit full TP, but I wanted to push it down some more because I saw it was about to happen, and it snatched it about 150. But I was about to get all this.
You're gonna see this drive through right now because this is a 4-hour level, and on the smaller time frame, you'll typically see that drive through while later respecting the 4 hours. So you'll probably get this pump to 49, 47. There's just no stops.
Yeah,
Not
I
yet,
watched.
but you get these closures. We can see some nice stops.
3 minutes, so I was ready. Oh well.
Remember, the drives came down into this area. Look at these. See these wicks? It's a heavy pump back out of here. You might get this pump right out of here.
Yeah, I'm holding tight. I'm holding tight. Like I said, that's where I wanted to go too.
Hold on, sir.
It's a good thing that your TP got hit, bro, because it just bounced off pretty hard anyways, Kenny.
It's right at the
So,
level we were just talking about. I think I
Yeah.
should have adjusted it here a bit because I was just thinking about an inch. Yeah, I don't think we would have gotten in there.
Damn,
49.
man.
I would have been there right there. 49, 70. Flat. Yeah, it would have missed us by a pip, literally. Honestly, I would have been pissed as fuck here right now. This thing would have missed us by
200 pips, man. Yeah.
entry would have been right there, 49, 70 flat. And it would have missed us by 2 pips exactly. Yeah, it would have been 200 pip stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be tight right now. Yeah, we would have deleted. Yeah. But we, like you see, kind of over time identify these levels just based on the analysis that you do. You look left, look here, you see what makes sense, and what we do to snipe the markets. Really think this drops heavier. Maybe not now, but Actually, I think we get a top wick and then it drops. Either way, I'd like to see a retest of whatever low we make. Not the wick low necessarily, just close low. Be careful of any kind of sells mid-range here, because this can pump. Look, quick rejection. Wait for the levels to tap. Wait for closures. Okay. Come on, bring it in. Oh no, you're cool. Wipe your mouth, fool.
Hey, yo, we got to get more than 45 likes up in here. For real, we got 250 people. I sure appreciate it. Hook a brother up. Hope everybody good.
I just made some food, but I got a big ass phobia of eating on stream now. I have mine too.
I don't blame you. I'll be a little concerned in this little window I'm in sometimes. You don't want to disrespect, you know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. We ended up dropping. Oh, a buy limit, not a big risk here. The 4-hour level here. Four hour, 1 hour. Looking for the bottom of the range as a stop. Very little risk here. It's typically it's gonna be like 30 pips worth of money. Hold on. What is it here? 49.31. All right, gang. May the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house. Very low risk on this trade. About 5x less. So about risking about 50 pips of profit. Or 50 pips worth of funds, money-wise. Stops below the range here. It look like it's going to happen. All right, gang. May the forces of evil become confused on the way to yo. BP 7. What's the entry there? 31.1. 50. 48.9. Yeah, 48.9, I think. All right, they're activated. Stops below range. 500-600 pips. I mean, I'm sorry, $500-600 worth of risk. And if it blows through it, it blows through it. But I expect to pump back up off the bottom of the range here. Volume. Remember, 5 to 10x risk lower because the ranges are massive. Decision making time. Go pull up, boys. Pull it up. Somebody get a better entry than me? What you guys do there? Oh.
Okay, break even.
No, not yet.
Prepara
Now
cerrar
break even.
todo.
Now break even.
Oh no, cierra partials, close partials.
Come on, move up. No, I'm not closing partials. I want this shit to push. Partials. This is risk-free now, but we just need it to push. Push up. Give me. Push up, bitch. We got close. We attempted it.
Okay, prepara cerrar todo, close.
Yo, who are you talking to?
My bad. I'm still on. I'm talking to my friend. I
I
closed.
was like, wait, is he translating what I'm doing?
No,
Gang,
man, I'm talking
it
to
might
my friend.
pump up now. I thought we were just gonna get that straight pushed up.
My bad. My bad. My friend. Yeah, I'm giving my friend
You're
is here
throwing
with
me off over there. Like, wait a minute. What's going on? Is there somebody? Go!
I'm telling my friend what to do. I'm telling him all that, and you're like, "Wait, no partial." I was like, "Okay," and then you said, "Who's talking?" I was like, "No, I'm on. I'm not muted." Oh, my bad.
It's gonna push up. It's gonna give us that 100. Man, I'm just didn't want. I thought we got it. It got so close. I was like, all right, I'm moving break even. It's definitely gonna re-break that. Made $15. This is bullshit. All that for nothing. All right. Hey, that doesn't mean this position's gone. We're gonna reattempt this. We're gonna reattempt the position here, just not in the same manner. We're gonna need this closure. Gonna have to push up. Next candle is gonna have to open with a bottom wick here. So what we need to see right now, this isn't bad, but what we need to see is this candle push up. Yeah, I would say ideally respect this area. Open up with a bottom wick, tap this area. That's when we'll have positions to come back up here. Because before any kind of drive down, I think we're going to need to retest resistance. The level was on point. But it's just, you don't want it, right? But this is such a heavy bearish move. Yeah, once it gets, but there's a reason I have my TP there, because that's the first possible area of rejection. It got really close, but it didn't, it came back up, came back down, took us out. I saw maybe 60, 70 pips. I don't know, something like that. I saw. But I really thought it was going to push at least 150 here, and then we can be there for partials. And look at it. It's doing it now. It never rebroke. But this is good. This is good because if it now closes above this blue line and opens up with a bottom wick, we can look for that same entry, except now there's less bearish momentum, right? We've just come up here. Next candle, if we're going to fill this wick, it's going to need to create a top wick. If we could get in on a bottom wick entry on the next candle to create that top wick, come back up here to resistance areas to then retest the lows, that would be amazing. If he taken 100 pips, got 150. Yeah, I don't know. I should have went break even a bit later. I didn't want to retest it. But this is TP right here. It got so close. I think I saw 100 pips. I just didn't see 150. And remember what I say. If you see 20 pips and then you go back into negative, you're an asshole. Don't be an asshole.
That's a little hard to say with this market like this.
I was going to say 20 pips here, though.
20. By the time you get to 20 and try to move it, maybe about 40 or 50.
Up 200? Yeah, look at this shit up. Level is on point. We just break even a bit too soon here.
Oh, yeah, I'm still in.
Oh, man. Just, I got to be honest with you. We didn't get to this level the way I wanted to get here. And I want to get it in this drive. So I trust this level, but I didn't trust it like enough to just not go break even there. You guys just go along with mine now. So you're like, fuck that. Now Wix is right. But for me, like, I just don't want this shit to come back to break even and drive through here. I've seen that happen. But on the next candle, the higher quality position. So I figured, hey, if we hit B, we're gonna have it on the next one. Let's see.
Right.
Let's wait what happens.
Wrong with PE.
Looks like it's working out right now. 2 minutes here.
OTP just hit right there.
Yeah.
Such thing. No such thing as full TP.
Kind of annoyed there. But I swear I was waiting for Jay to yell, go! Congrats to everybody that didn't go break even too early. You know they call that guy Too Late Powell? Oh, shit, I'm spitting. They call me Too Soon Wicks. I gotta go.
With these market conditions, I've been going break even at 100 pips on most of my positions.
Yeah, it's hard. 20 pips ain't gonna do it.
No, we definitely saw 100 pips. We definitely saw 100 pips before we went break even.
When you went break even, I seen on my terminal it was at like 70 something pips.
No, that's when I went break even. But we've already been at 100 pips by that time. It just moved back. Huh.
And I
got a better entry, obviously.
I got a better entry too.
So yeah, definitely saw way more than that when I closed partials. But I closed full. If I hadn't closed full, it would have hit my BE because it came back down enough. But man, it pushed up a shit ton. 300 puts above my closure. That's
hey man, congrats to everybody but me.
hey bro. BE
you guys.
is definitely not a loss in this range, man. I mean, I know it's annoying, but protecting the capital.
It just came back and all it did was tap RBE and leave.
Yeah. I know it's annoying. Don't forget to update the session grades in the stream.
Because it's all it did. Look. The trade ran here. We saw 119 pips. And then it hit BE. It took us out by like what? 10 pips here. And then took the fuck off. Why not just drive on this candle? Why come back here? Tell me why.
I honestly wanted it to drop a little bit more because I had another buy limit at for a pineapple at 49.
Nah, that would have that would have fucked up the stream. That would have fucked up the vibes. That would have killed everything. That would have been, instead of all these people sitting here at 200, 300 pips in profit, it would be a whole bunch of people sending me hate mail. Well.
And he was 30 pips away from that pineapple hitting as well, man. That just dumped really fast, though.
Yeah, but there's a reason stops are way below the range. This is when you're wrong. Anywhere in here you can reject, right? There's a reason that stop goes there. There's a reason we went a certain lot size, right? Because the amount of risk here. But you have to go where you're wrong, not based how much money you want to make or risk you can accept.
Yeah. Smoked the kid thought the session was done. Why? We never said that. We're still on. We're still on. We're not the type to just stay on and just do nothing. We talk about stuff. We clarify. We explain when closures are going to happen. We talk about when we're looking for entries. We're talking about everything. So if you guys are not actually listening to the stream, that's going to obviously hurt you. You guys have to listen, be able to understand, and grab the knowledge, bro. It's free sauce here, man. So if you guys are seeing that Wix is on, he's not here to just show his beautiful face to everybody and his beautiful smile to everybody. We definitely love to see Eddie, but you guys need to obviously learn from what he gives you guys, right? The information. And if you're not sure about something, ask questions. All the people that have the names in blue were mods, so we can obviously help you out and explain stuff, and so can Wix. So take advantage, getting the free sauce here.
I left a short message to Clubhouse Discord. School if you read it. All right, let's go there. After a few years of battle and struggle, I can now see the path I've taken. I stopped focusing so much on technical analysis and started studying more risk management and psychology. And now, after some payouts, one after the other, I see what my biggest problem was. Trust the process, says Santos. Reduce lots to 1/2 micros. Use stop loss. Protect your capital. And the rest is just studying a little bit of strategy and TA. This is what worked for me, and it's starting to work. We are all different with different ambitions and trading styles, but what remains the same is that at the end of the day, we all want to live off the market. For a few weeks now, I haven't been working so hard at Uber Eats, sucks for your custies, in the rain and cold, and that motivates me even more not to increase the lots and not fail my plan. I spent the last few weeks paying rent, food, etc., just with trading. Shout out to Wix, Maz. I have a lot of respect and love for being put on the team. W. Santos. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Mike. All I need is one mic. W. Santos. Nice message. Appreciate you. Followed your instructions, but I traded on silver and won. Thanks, Wix. W. Congrats. Congrats to everybody that won. What's up with his mic? Oh, that's Jay. He's probably out and about, or he's not. He doesn't have his headphones in, or something like. Yeah, he's basically in R2D2 mode.
The plug-in garbage headphones. So now I'm back on speaker. Did Wish send you? Did Wish send you a DM as well? I think he did. Wix.
We're going to see quite a bit of volume here in the next 30-minute candle. Right, this is a great range to fill, but it's also a very nice rejection off this level. This can get interesting. What I would like to see is ideally either a no bottom wick on this candle, which is what we're doing right now. I want to see two things. I want to see a steeper top wick on this current candle, which means we would have to re-break the highs. But then I'd also want to see a close to no wick here. No wick or close to no bottom wick at all. So we'd have to re-break the highs, come back down, and close bearish. Let's see. I need this 30 to close. Bless me. Thank me. I'm welcome. Logic behind that top wick. We get that top wick here, and then we close bearish with almost no bottom wick. That gives us a leg candle, right? Reggie's over there like, I'm with you, Wix. Let's zoom door. I got you. We were able to see something like this. Then I would bank on the next candle coming down first. Quick, right to this. We're looking for bullish flip, build to here. This is our break even. I mean, this is where we move stops to break even, secure partials. Right here, stops below here. And full TP. Pretty simple. See what happens. Zoom door, por favor. Yeah, appreciate the nice message sent. Wait, what'd you say? Somebody else left a message? Looks trying to snipe, but it's got to be the next 30, aka the next 1 hour candle. And you know what? I think it will be this level down here. It's not going to be blue line. It'll be, although we might pop off the. Hey, look at that. Hey, look at the trend line. Look at the trend line right there. Almost feel a little dirty for doing that. Books, I've never seen you in my life use the trend line. I've never in my life used the trend line. Even when I started trading, and the first thing when you start trading was they teach you structure and 3 taps, right? You have to form a trend line and 3 taps to the trend line. And like that was like the first thing when I started, right? The market does, everybody, remember all the gurus? They, I don't know when you guys started trading, but you know, about 10 years ago, a decade ago, everyone was doing the whole arrow thing. Up, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. And even then, I've never used the trend line. I just didn't know how to fuck to use it. But it's funny over time. You're like, you just see things like, you're like, all right, I understand why they're looking there. If this holds again. Wait till Wix use ICT. I don't use nothing but this. But it's like, when people tell me things, I'd be like, all right, like, I understand what they're looking at. It's just, they're looking at it for a different reason and for a different opportunity, but I understand the perspective. Trend lines are subjective. Yeah, but you know, all you need to know is candles. If you understand price action, if you understand candles, you can read clean charts. You can understand which trend lines are valid and which are not, right? You can be more objective about your trend lines. You can be more objective about every single indicator. If you understand price action, you can be like, all right, so this is the one that makes sense here. This is where the fib makes sense here, right? But you can, but at that point, by the time you understand those things, you're like, I don't need those things. Like, I see them before they print here. I know, you know, I understand which retracement, which pullback would matter where, right? And where I would fib it now. But I just, at this point, once you understand that, you don't need the fib. Once you, like, I understand where the trend line here would matter, but at this point, I don't fucking need it. If I needed it, I would have used it. But not once you learn price action, you understand where all those things would be, and you just don't need them because you see it in price. Cheese and right. Let's put that B there. Add that to our record. BE number 165. Oh, there's the closure. Close below here, huh? Didn't respect that level. This candle closed below with a bottom wick to fill. I'll figure this creates a top wick. I hate the fact that it closed below here. But I still believe it needs a steeper top wick. And that's the break of the previous candle low. Yeah, this can pump back up right from here. I don't like that closure. See, we would have sniped it there too. I needed this. This was the main thing here. That's why I have this line here. I needed it to respect that level. You know what? There's a level right there. I think we might have been off there. Yeah. I didn't see this. I just real time. Yeah. There's a level right there. That's what it's held. Yeah. Fucker. Not an easy chop to read, gang. Not an easy chop. That was the position right there. That would have been that bottom wick. That was it. These are not simple positions to read. And this is the perfect Wix 9 pancake right to that flip. 125 pips. That's all we needed. Right? That really just that boom. That was a 1 minute candle. We would have seen that in 1 minute. So that was it. 150 pips on the dot again. Give it a little more. 152. Yeah, there's the reason I didn't take that. The level I had marked off here was this most recent one. And we closed below it, and I needed a respect of that, but I just didn't recognize it. When you have chops like this, I guess it's not a simple read because it's a quick position. You see, this position would have been 1 minute, because anything longer than that, that's the difference between securing 150 pips or going into drawdown and losing. You know what I mean? So that was a perfect pancake. You guys saw us plan for this, but level was a bit off here. So this is the more solid one. Anyone any questions on that? Yeah. We needed a respect of support for a bottom wick entry. And when I saw this, right, I was like, nah, we closed below it. Now we got that top wick right to there. Gonna blast through. Then came back to the flip. Why? Because that's the level. All good. And I realize I'm gonna have to differentiate them because there are different types of pancakes, right? There are different levels to these pancakes. There are pancakes, there's like level 1 pancake, there's a level 2 pancake, and they're just like, they're different. It's a bit of a different read, but all it is just, you know, they're wick entries. They're a bit of a different read. Like the pancake from this morning was a different read, but from earlier this morning than this one. This right here was amazing. 8 a.m. I was talking about, right? Different type of pancake than what you just had here. What patterns do you look at the time? Do you look at time of reversal? I just look for areas, you know, I look for areas where it's highly likely for the market to see a reaction. And I typically like, how do I determine those areas? I'd like them to be areas that are matching up all throughout the different time frames, not on every single one maybe, but on a lot of them, you know, on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30, 15, like 2 or 3 out of them. If the level matches up, and then I look, you know, historically in the market is, you know, do we have precedent? We have historical price data that supports what we're trying to do, right? And do we have that level holding at multiple instances in the market here? Bless me, thank me, welcome, thank you. When I see that, and when I see multiple time frames there, and like I see a chop like this, which what usually happens, right? When you get back into a chop like this, you'll drive through it, then you get back up to resistance levels. That's what I'm banking on in this push here. Market makes another decision and it comes back down. But this is just knowledge guided by experience, and over time you figure out, your brain sees this so much, your eyes see this so much, they realize which areas to lock in on, which levels to lock in on. Just saving you some time and telling you, hey, your brain doesn't see this yet, focus on this. That's all I'm doing. Closes bullish, we might have another bottom wick entry. Then it won't be as sharp as the ones down here, but there's a probability for another as sharp. I mean, it won't be as good as the one down here because you probably don't come back there now. But as long as we get this nice bullish closure, there's a high likelihood. Probably gonna have to be a 30 as well. We're gonna look for these buys. We just don't want this to be a sharp push up. But we read this level to the T. We called the crap out of it. Oh, my nose. how have you adjusted to this first quarter of trade 2026? I had a tough first 2 weeks. I took on, you know, some unnecessary losses, but since then it's been kind of smooth sailing. Take a sweet ass time to walk in the room every time, bro. You're a dog. You're fast. You're agile. You're young. Move it. Move it. Move it. Thank you. Ben Doggy Dog. Yeah, I like the closures back above 49.45, but I realized this would be a leg candle in a heavily bearish move, so it wouldn't be a break at a highs like in like a normal onion would be. I would need the market to retest lows here, probably create a range on a smaller time frame. Right, I really highly doubt that the first break up will be a heavy drive, but it might be, but it's not the one I want to be in. I think on a leg candle here, I'd want to be in, I'd rather be in sells somewhere down here. Somewhere up here. Yeah, I honestly, if we start coming back up here, I'd rather take a pancake right there. What's the stops here? 400 pips. What were the stops here that we just took? 300. 400. Yo, I need you to stop. He's just gnawing at my elbow. Come on, bro. Wait. Move it. I know why he's here. He only started barking when I lit the joint. You guys know why he's here, right? Looks, I feel like every time I go on a win streak, I get cocky and start over risking. How do I control that and stay humble and not take on bigger size because I was a consistent winner for a bit? I like how you put humble in quotations, bro. I just took a picture of that. It's funny. Joe Smart, the dog. He does. He wants all my attention. Wait, hold on. We need a closure here. I want to see. Can we get a little candle here? No top wick. Give us no top wick. We're looking for sell limits at this area then if that happens. We're not looking for anything right now. And I can't just have a candle come back here and then trade it right back down. I gotta get a closure. Maybe the next 15. Yeah. All right, let's go back to that question. How do I control that and stay humble, not take on bigger sizes? Well, I think you're not losing control because you're confident. You lose control because you change who you are, right? You're shifting your identity from one person to the other. Before the win, you're executing the system, right? After all of that, you say to yourself, oh, I'm him right now. I'm him. Right? And the moment trading becomes about proving something instead of just executing, you know, that's when your risk management fucks up. That's when you increase your risk, right? You gotta kind of separate confidence from permission, right? Confidence does not give you permission to increase risk. Risk only increases when data earns it, not emotion. Right? Set that rule in stone. Set the increases after at certain milestones for money wise, right? And go from there. Your default size, that's who you are as a trader. That's like, you know, stop. Act your wage. Remember they say act your age? Act your wage. Your default size is who you are as a trader. It's like, oh, you trade? Okay. Lot size. That's how we should talk to each other. Right? If you trade, like, all right, what's your lot? Okay, then I know where you are in the journey. You understand? And also, like, staying humble, right? Doesn't really mean trading scared. It just means respecting the market. The market doesn't know who you are, and it doesn't care who you are. Right? When you're humble, it doesn't mean you're scared of the market, right? It just means that things you do are repeatable. You can just repeat it. You're not trying to get ahead, say, hey, I'm him. No, I can do whatever and not lose. No, you're just humbly repeating everything you're doing, right? And the best traders, they're not aggressive. They're boring. They're inevitable. They just keep plugging away at that boring trading routine just over and over and over. And that's what makes you profitable. That's what invites profitability in. That doesn't necessarily make you profitable, but that's what's going to invite profitability in, right? Profitability is walking around right now, the trader store, looking around, and it doesn't want that, to raise that aggressive trader all over the place. No, it just wants a nice, peaceful, quiet life. It's looking for that, boring and inevitable trader that's, no matter what, they're going to do their thing and inevitably get there. Ask yourself, maybe a good rule of thumb would be, hey, let me ask yourself, would I take this trade if I was down on the day? Forget about winning 3 in a row. Let's say I lost the previous trade. Would I take this trade? Right? Get away from the thought process. Oh, I'm trying to win right now. I'm just trying to execute off my plan. I'm the person who's going to execute my plan regardless of what's going on. Results, revenge trading, Winners aren't people who win big. Winners are people who don't break character when things go well. They are who they are. They say they're about it, and they're about it, and you can trust them to be them. They're consistent in what they do. So today they're going to be them, tomorrow they're going to be them, day after that they're going to be them. Raising your lot size should be a reward for consistency, not a reaction to confidence in your case, right? Either build like a non-negotiable size ladder where you size up at like I said, at certain milestones, or like a post-win cooldown rules so wins don't turn into like overconfident. You know what you're doing, Ron. The dog. Oh my god, oh my god. Why nobody said we opened up here?
Well, because the 15 closed with a massive top wick, so I figured you didn't really care about it. I mean, yeah, closed with a top wick. Figured you didn't really care.
Yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't have taken a position there. And that's why. The 30's still open, right? Ideally, yeah, while that was the level here, this is why it's such a hard read here. I think that's the level. Yeah, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. You only have the 15 bullish. The 15 is the leg candle. But you did fill this area. You'd want a closure, and then you'd want to fake out and a closure back up. Yeah, for you to take buys here. So you would want... This candle can tap this area right now and start flipping, heading back up. That's not what we'd want. We'd want an actual closure somewhere down here, or maybe even below the range here. Then if we can fake out, close back up above, we can look for the buys. Look at that, right? The hourly's flip bearish here. The 30's reflip bearish here. Yeah, there would be no positions there. This is London close, right? We were talking about this 30 minutes of volume. I'd fill this wick down. There we go. Filling the wick down. Just said it. Just said it. That's that London close volume. We've seen this before, right? You have a level here, so it might not close below it, but it's going to fill this wick down, right? Likely to come back up and close up, but the wick fill should happen. Happening, right? If we can get this closure down here and then start closing back up in range for a fake out, I would like. We have nice targets here to the left. 49.80 before any kind of further drop. Although, look at this level.
So you're looking for the 30 close and then probably noon. Yeah, noon as the last chance for a London close, basically, to see if that will play out.
Hold on, let me think. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I like the fact that we've tapped this area. I want closures above here. We've tapped we wouldn't trade through here. You don't want to trade through here, all these rejections. Right, this is an area you can have a bottom wick entry in. But as long as this doesn't close right down here, I might have to move this level to here. The level I was looking at. As long as we don't close below here. Right. We can tap these areas, but still close back above here. I'll look for bias, which means you'd probably close. This would take a little while to develop. I'm thinking faster than speaking. We have this level here that we're tapping into. What we need to do is tap into these areas, respect this area, and still get that bullish closure above there. That means, you see these wicks? This would be the retest of the lows. So on a smaller time frame, what happens? If these are the hourlies, then the 15. If these are the hourlies, then the 15 is likely to do this. This is what we're very likely to see. Right. And in this area right here, the decision will be made. What happens typically at that area is this. Usually get that candle writing down, pop, right? The decision gets made, or you'll start heading the other way. So there's quite a few candles that need to be printed. Do this. If we can do that, great. Push back up. Now, mind you, that can happen here. Right. I don't know which level it's due to respect here. This one or this one. I would bank on the 49.02 here, closer to 49 flat, because that is 49.01. Because that's the 4-hour level. It's a higher time frame level there. So if we're able to tap that and still come back up, great. But I would want some kind of range to be printed here before looking for any kind of buys. If it just starts pulling up, I'm going to have sell limits on the hourly closure here. You see it? If we are doing this in this 4-hour, let's scroll drawings. I expect the reaction at this level. Previous 4 hours bearish. It's a 400 pip stop. Maybe around 250 pips, somewhere right here. Use these wicks off the 4-hour. But realistically, this is the stop I would keep, so I'd probably keep this on a micro at a 2 lot. As long as we can get some closures back down here. Good. So the 15's printing a range. Hold on, let's go back to our drawing. Right. We want this kind of range to print here. See how that lines up? And the candle that came down, you got this bullish candle, you got the next bearish candle holding. Now you just need that closure. Once you close here, you need a closure above. So the 30 closes here in 90 seconds, right? Look at the 30. 30 is still indecisive. But you can see that the 15-minute range is starting to form. We can say, all right, this level, more recent one, it's going to be solid once we close here. If we are to look for buys here, we need closures like this. Once you're able to get that, then you can look for. There's just, as we were coming down here, right, in the 15, as we were down here, there's so many ways that could have played out. But now that we're rejecting heavily back up into range, the whole new set of ways it could play out here, and you know, that goes out the window. And with the 30 closing indecisively here, it's even tougher. Let's go back to our picture. Give these candles steeper wicks. There we go. That's where we messed up, the steeper wicks. Seems very valid. We just gotta wait now. Gotta wait, because it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna do everything that we've said it will. Need closures. This is an indecisive 1 hour so far. The 30 didn't die much. It did close bullish, weak bullish. This entire candle's a range, right? Wicks are ranges. Entire candle's a range. I'm craving ice cream. He smoked a 20-gram protein joint, right?
Excuse me? Say at 1 gram?
pistachios in there, or is it just cream?
No, it's fully loaded with pistachio.
Oh man, I love those. I used to eat those when I was in Portugal.
Yeah,
They'd have
pistachios.
specific places. Yeah, man, they have those massive chunks in there. You're
Yeah,
like, damn.
yeah.
And sometimes they'd have the pistachios on top. And then I'd be like, yeah, give me a little bit more of those. A little bit more of those. They're like, yo, do you want more pistachios or more ice cream?
Look at this.
Just love pistachios, man.
He just be drooling and smelling the ice cream over here. Look at him.
I understand. Betty!
Look at his eyes. Crazy.
How's he doing, by the way? He's better?
Yeah, he's chilling.
Good. Happy to hear that, man. Got us worried for a while.
No, you cannot have ice cream or my ice cream. Go have your own.
You can give him ice cream and then expect a lot of diarrhea after that. But other than that, yeah. It's not good for them.
He be eating all of my peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Started buying the
Peanut butter
Crustables
jelly
so he could stop eating my sandwiches.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Baseball. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly.
Oh, man.
Munchie's hitting. No. Appreciate the answer, bro. We'll apply that consistent size, but LOL. As a trader, you're the manager, owner, and employee. So how do you know when to promote the lot size? Yo, stop. Stop, bro. All right, you can have a little bit. You can have one piece of ice cream. A little bit. But I can't use this damn spoon after you. You know, fuck up my ice cream eating experience. Here, okay, I'm gonna give him some ice cream. Here. But just eat it. Stop licking it. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Yeah, lick this shit off the plate. See, I can't have you doing this shit. Here. Why are you so awkward, bro? Stop. Now it's on me. Hey. Stop. All right, that's not ice cream. Hold on, come here. We gotta. You're drooling. Stop drooling. Too much. Like ice cream, bro. You're so fucking cute, man. If you weren't this cute, I'd probably do. Come here. You used my spoon. You used all of my tissues, all of my napkins. And now you want to eat all of my ice cream. No, wipe that mouth. All right, come on. Let's go. Bring it in. Bring it in. Let's go. I'm not going to tell you again. Come on. High five. Stretching. He's stretching over here. Come on, bring it in. No, stop. Don't do that. Get it. Get all that saliva, all that drool, all that nose wetness off of you. You need. Why you have a wet nose, bro? Dry it up a little. Yo. Think he's hungry, Chad? Look, Benny. Benny. Hey. Hello? Why does it sound empty in there? Come on. Why you sound hollow? Beefing with me right now. Yo! Yeah, I'm gonna be here for the next 20 minutes unless Benny decides to fucking bite me, then I'll bit earlier. At least the next 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm looking to see how we close here, what level we're supposed to that we could expect or create here. All right, yo, you're annoying. Go over there. Go over there. Go over there. Get off me. Go over there. And stop chewing your things. Stop it. Stop. Spots. Spot. Bro, you're 2. Why do you look like you're 25? I don't know. He's got this wisdom look about him, like he's pretty wise looking. He's such an idiot. You're an idiot. Yeah, watch out. Hold on. Mama said, stupid is as stupid does. Life is like a box of chocolate. Never know what you're gonna get. Benny, do me a favor, run the street. All right, so what do we want here?
We wanted to make sure it doesn't close below 49.02. Want to make sure if it hopefully closes with no bottom wick would be good for it to push back up and close above 49.42. To maybe then get a bottom wick for it to push up to 49.80 and get a 400 pip win. What do you think?
I don't think there's any entries here.
As long as you keep selling, I'm cool.
That we're at. Sorry, go ahead.
Stop. Look at this guy. Not letting him. He keeps pushing on my elbow. Over, bro. Over. That's my ice cream. Get off me. Not letting me move the damn mouse. Yeah. We're in this chop. We're extremely bearish. You don't want to take the buys here. There's no limit orders here. This isn't the level. There isn't any levels I can utilize for the pancakes. They'd have to be printed. They are yet to be printed. This weekly is back to being a doji candle, indecisive. I think you were right again with the Wednesdays more than likely being a sell day.
No, you remember that. Nice.
Yeah. We talked about it last week as well, last week Wednesday.
Yeah. It's pretty very close to 100% that Wednesdays are days where the sells will happen more likely than the buys. Even if it pushes, with buys, let's say for a few hundred pips, it'll come back down and then just break everything on the bottom after that. So I just noticed that a lot more. And actually, it was not just me. Turpy was the one who brought it up to me first, and then I looked into it as well. Shout out to Turpy.
That the 15 closed with no bottom wick, but the 30 is still open. 30 could do whatever here. How much does he weigh? Almost 130. Or around 130. His weight's up and down, like not up and down though. His weight went up and down in the last week because he was sick. He had a fever, he had a stomach bug. He didn't eat for a couple of days, didn't feel like it. But now he's eating like a fucking cow. There was also a day where he ate my joint. He couldn't eat for like a day because he was throwing up. But after that, he ate like 3 weeks worth of food. He had he ate everything. He ate his food, my food, his shoes, my girl's shoes, my daughter's wires, my phone charge. He ate everything. He had the only munchies. I don't know how. I just rolled the joint. It wasn't lit. It never got smoked. And this guy was walking around stumbling. I knew he ate it because he was stumbling. He got up and he was just standing next to me going. I look at him, I'm like, you high motherfucker, you ate my joint, didn't you? He looks at me like, you ran to the vet, he couldn't stand? Yeah, mine couldn't stand either. I had to fucking, he wouldn't go inside too, he was paranoid. He would not go inside. I had to drag him inside. He would not go. Yours, you could probably just pick up and carry. This guy, I had to literally get like a bulldozer. Stop. Guy sat there all evening like, But he was going to die, panic? No, I got experience. Happened to my boy's dog. He brought this to the vet. The vet told him, hey, yo, $500 and we'll watch him overnight. I thought about it. I was like, I'd rather give $500 to my kids than tell them to watch him. They did it for some crayons and a stick of gum. How about that?
There goes gold.
What?
I said, well, there goes Goldie.
We had a couple of opportunities. You guys made some bank.
I didn't take shit.
For me, I think it'll highly likely be a next 4-hour position after 2 p.m. Most likely going to let this 4-hour print. I believe now that we're in this chop, the 2 p.m. candle, maybe even around 1:30 right before it comes up, gives you some, will give you some nice opportunity, because if this closes bearish, right, with a steep wick to fill, I would still rather take sells here than buys, which means next 4-hour top wick would be ideal for me at the top of the range here to retest the lows. Buyers added again at 87. Where 48.87 or 49.87?
I'm assuming, because they had. He was writing that they had some big orders at 48.90, and then he's saying that they're adding again at 48.87.
But all of that is not to drive the market up. All of that is to get it up to 49.80 to make a decision. Once it gets up here, another decision will be made, and we are likely going to chop around in here between 49.80 and 4900. So I'm looking for the next 4-hour candle to get us back up here with a top wick. All right, because based on the current 4-hour, it's gotta go. Right, if this is our 4-hour closure here. Then I would like to see this off the next 4-hour. If that's the case, see all these wicks to the left. I would like to get a sell off that area on the 4-hour. That's why I say it's pushing us up to 49.80. Off the next 4-hour close, it would make a lot of sense off these areas. Right back to all of this chop. And don't forget things that we aren't even thinking of just yet, like, or things that we are thinking of, but it doesn't look like it just yet. Like, they might set up fairly quickly. Just might not look like it yet, but you flip through the time frames and you give it a few candle closures and you'll see things start setting up fairly quickly. And congrats to everybody that took a W here earlier today. Congrats to everyone that took W's off our positions. Unfortunately, mine hit BE, but congrats to everybody that secured profits and was able to get to end the day in the green here. Really proud of everybody. Uh-oh. What? Why are you moaning, bro? I don't have any more food for you. Stop moaning. Want to go for a walk? Yeah, gang, I think I'm gonna take this into the signal channel. I'm gonna call it here. If I see any more positions, we'll call them in the signals, and we'll obviously take them there. The buys from last night, huh? They worked out from the signal channel, and the signal channel from, it was like midnight, but I closed them out and I had to run. And then like half hour later, they worked out. I needed them earlier in the candle, but or on the earlier candle. What, bro? You're bugging out. What? I've never seen you do this. He's doing this right now. Like a parrot. You ever seen a parrot do this? That's what he's doing right now. Holly, want a cracker? Holly, want a cracker? Are you looking at me all week? You just joined back stream? What's up, Dan? We're gonna call it. I was gonna wait, see what this candle does, but no, we're gonna call it here. It's noon. I'm gonna let the New Yorkers have lunch. I'm gonna let London go to bed and close over here. And I'll be looking at this closer to the 4-hour close at around 2 p.m., maybe 1:30 to 2:30. So if you're in a signal channel, that's the time you should look out for a possible position, because if we're setting up, that would be the time to set up, and that would be the time for a little bit of volume. We're moving into power hour at around 3 p.m., right? And all of New York is back from lunch and close out the market, so we should see a bit of volume then. If I'm on the charts then and I see something, obviously I'll call it the signal channel. If not, I'll see you guys tonight. We are running another stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will run Asian session. I'll see everybody in there. Zoom gang, see you guys tonight. Signal channel, stay locked in. If I see some positions, I'll call them out. Oh shit, people at the Zoom door. Well, welcome in, Sam, but we are about to head out. So, like I said, see everybody tonight. Mods, thank you for helping me run the stream. And
Thank you,
chat. Love and
Thank you.
wisdom to you all. Kenny, Jay, appreciate you guys and the combo. Chris, today. Yeah, my time here is up, gang. Just like that, another New York session is in the books. See you guys tonight. Don't forget Asian session, 8 p.m. Eastern, exactly 8 hours from now. Get some rest and come through and support and win with us. I'll see you in there. Later.